Today, we are going to cover specimens on services, services that you provide, that your business provides to the public with your brand. And so the first type of specimen that you could submit, this could be photos or screenshots of online advertisements. So again, these could be ads that you show on Google Ads or on Facebook ads. As long as it's a service, this could be an acceptable type specimen. Again, it has to be tied to the services that are being rendered. Another type of valid specimen for a service mark would be audio files. These would be for TV or radio commercials. So again, if you are providing a service and it involves and you advertise on TV or on radio, then you could submit the audio file. Now, for brochures and leaflets, they can also be acceptable for advertising and marketing purposes. So if you provide brochures out to the general public, you do handouts to people as they come by your store or your restaurant, or if you provide leaflets to your local newspaper, whatever the case may be, brochures and leaflets, as long as the services are clearly indicated on the brochures and leaflets along with your service, then this would be also an acceptable type of service mark. Now, moving on, signage. Now, signage is also an acceptable type of specimen. So signage would be, for example, signs on the front of your restaurant. It could be signage on the front of your hair salon, whatever it may be. So this is actual signage that consumers see when they're making the decision of whether or not to walk into your store. And again, in signage, that would probably be a photograph, but it's got to be clearly having your mark and clearly tied to the services that you have in your trademark application. Now, materials used to provide services could be things like menus. So if you are in the business of providing food, so providing food services, for example, a restaurant, a QSR, quick service restaurant, you could provide menus. So this could be pictures of actual menus. Now remember, you have to have your mark on the menu itself. So it has to clearly be linked to the services that you are rendering. Invoices are another great type of specimen. Again, I recommend don't provide any confidential client information. Remember, this becomes public record. So what I recommend is that you redact any sort of client related information. You don't want to expose any of your potential clients' public information because again, this is public record. So think about the invoices that you release. Also think about pricing. If pricing is a large part of the competitive landscape, then think about the invoices that you are making public. But again, the invoice must have your mark on it, and it must be directly connected to the services that are being rendered. And lastly, you could also submit business cards. Business cards would be an acceptable form of specimen for services rendered. And again, you could also submit letterhead. So this could be nice letterhead that you submit with your mark in the up top or on your business card that you hand out to potential customers, as long as the business card or letterhead is clearly linked to the services that you're providing. And for example, if you have a phone number or email, there has to be a clear link to the services being rendered. So a consumer would know, oh, if I call this number or email this individual at this email address, I will be able to seek these services. So again, I hope you guys found this helpful. This is a quick overview of how to provide an acceptable specimens for service type marks.